Forgotten heroes. I often saw a frail old man while on my morning walk. He'd sit and feed the pigeons, but I never stopped to talk. He knew each bird that came to him and gave them each a name. I'd hear him call out softly, Windy, Storm, and Hurricane. Most people took no notice, but complaints were sometimes made. He says he'll stop, the ranger said, but when his debt's repaid. And no one thought to question or to ask the old man why. He went on feeding pigeons and the people passed him by. How fast the days were rushing past. Each time I came around, the old man growing weaker, fewer pigeons on the ground. I think I felt a fading in the seasons of that year. And so it was one autumn day I stopped and ventured near. I smiled and introduced myself and shook his time-worn hand, then sat upon the bench with him and watched the pigeons land. Why do you feed the pigeons, sir? I'd really like to know. Most people think of them as pests and wish that they would go. The old man straightened up his back. He held his head with pride and told me of a brutal war where many good men died. He spoke of 1945, before the end of war, and how an army boat had floundered off New Guinea's shore. She carried men and cargo that were destined for Madang, but ran aground in Huon Gulf when savage storms began. The radio was useless, it was damaged in the fray, but luckily a pigeon rode along with them that day. The little bird with message held was set against the gale. He circled twice above their boat, but then began to flail. And when the men lost sight of him amidst the driving rain, they all had thought the bird was downed and would not fly again. But as their thoughts turned back to home and where they'd never be, the pigeon flew on through the storm and crossed the open sea. He landed on the shore at last with battered, damaged wings, his little body scraped and bruised from storm-related things. His message was delivered. All the crew and cargo saved. The pigeon earned a medal for the hurricane he braved. And yet, explained the man, the bird had never had a name, just issued with a number and then treated just the same. And though those birds saved countless lives, they never made it home. The army wouldn't run the risk and let diseases roam. And so he started coming here to thank them every day until the ranger's forced to act and chases them away. The tears rose in my eyes to know the reasons why he came, to feed these feral birds and give each of them a name. I sat with him upon the bench and learnt about the war, until by winter's end he wasn't coming anymore. I guess it's signs of changing times, that endless rise and fall, when what was once a hero's now forgotten by us all. So now I feed the pigeons, and I know them each by name, and you can hear me call them Windy, Storm, and Hurricane.